everyone, how are you? This is the second part of my sexual trauma transformation, transmutation. I love that word. Today we're going to talk about a few ways that we can heal and reverse sexual trauma for our empowerment. If you haven't watched video 1, go watch video number 1, please. And I will put it in the description below as well. And also you can watch my Sex Magic School one-on-one playlist. Just watch all my videos really, because they will give you a very good basic information about sex magic and the true teachings of sex magic without, I don't give you the quick way, I give you the real way, okay? And if you do like my information and what I teach, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified on any videos I make. Please share and like and support me if you can. If you want to work with me, please get in touch with me. Preparing a lot of information for you. I've been working hard on a lot of books and it's coming, guys. All right, so let's talk about using this dark sexual energy that's caused by sexual trauma and using it to our advantage and reversing it. So we're going to talk about using a few different methods today, okay? One of them is going to be sigils. I do have a video about sigils, and it's on my YouTube channel, and this is my YouTube channel. So if you watch my video on how to make a sigil, that can help you on making a sigil. But a sigil is a magical shape that we're creating, which holds the power of some sort of magical desire or spell that we want to create and manifest. So it's great to use it with sex magic. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with changing our story. So this is the first thing that I do when I work with sexual trauma, with people who had sexual trauma. Okay, so for you, I suggest for like at least 3 weeks, but most people can't really do 3 weeks. It's a long time, 21 days. So at least give it like at least 8 to 10 days where you find someone that you truly trust, that truly loves you. And for those 8 to 10 days, every single day, try to do it in the same time of day as well. You are going to share your story, your trauma story with. I want you to begin to tell the story as it was, with every detail. Do not let any detail, fade away from the story, okay? Like, allow all the details and all the emotions. Bring yourself to like that moment and just say it as it is right now. Just bring it up. Again, be very detailed. Now, starting like day 8 or 10, you are going to begin the same story, but you're going to give it a different ending. Okay, so you can play with different endings and take as many days or as many tries as you need until you find the ending that feels in your body. It's most right. You need to feel it in your body. So for men that heal their sexual trauma, it's more, you're going to feel it in your heart. Remember, your heart is your sexual center. And for the women, it's going to be your womb. You guys know this if you follow my teachings and my videos. So wait for that feeling of knowing this is right. This is a good ending. It feels good to me. It brings you back into the moment also. That ending of the story is going to kind of like feels like, okay, it's going to be in this moment, it's going to be very present. Okay. So after that, you're going to write the best version of that story that you told after all the trials. You can, and again, this is why I like 21 days to do it, at least, because people need a little time to kind of like create the best story, So I would just say, give yourself all the time that you need. Don't push yourself every day. Tell the story every day, then the next day, then the next day. Don't push yourself too much, but give yourself enough time to create that marvelous story that feels so good. Okay. You're going to write down the best version of that story that makes you feel amazing. Okay. Write it down, and you can write it in a notebook. Just decorate your own notebook, just invest your time and your energy in that new amazing story. Okay. You can put little stickers on it. You can do whatever. It's, we're working with the subconscious mind. We're working with imagination. We're working with your inner child that brings joy. So just have fun with it. Okay. Now you're going to place that on your altar, or in an important place that you really love. This is an amazing story that, it's your story, and, you want to give it life. So this process tells your subconscious mind that this story is important, and you're charging it with your life, okay, with the power. So when you feel like it's time to maybe store this book somewhere in a closet or a drawer, you'll know, and then you can do it for the future when you have a need and you need to read it again, just to remind yourself of that amazing new story. Okay. Now, the second part of this is you're going to make a sigil for the story. One second. So you're going to make a sigil, a magical representation. Again, watch my video on how to make a sigil if you don't know how to make a sigil. But this time we're not going to make it for a wish. Usually we're creating a sigil for like a wish or a desire we want to manifest. This time we're going to create it for the whole story. So you can take a few elements that are basic in that story that like really pop out. Maybe write those words and do the same process for the sigil, like in my other videos. So you take the vowels out, you use those letters, and you create a magical sigil, a magical representation of that story, of that world you created. The next step, basically in this process does require a more deep temple work, like sex temple work, which I work with Lilith and the sex priestesses of the temple. And I do that, like I said, this is a process I do with people one-on-one when I work with them. So it is intense. But I'm sharing the easy parts that you can do by yourself. So the next step does require like uniting sexually, interdimensionally with a god of the temple or a goddess of the temple. I don't recommend to do it alone if you don't know how to do it. I do not recommend it. And this is not something I can just teach on YouTube. I'm sorry. I am writing about it in my book, which will be published soon, hopefully. But for now, this is not something. I'm sorry. But I'm trying to do my best here and give you whatever information you can have right now. But so it just because most people are not ready for it as well. So, but you will have to go through initiation to the temple for this knowledge anyway. Like it's going into the sex temple of Isis and Lilith takes initiation. It's not something that anyone can just, it's like a club. Okay. So yeah, it's not a club. That was my point. So my book is going to cover a lot of it, like I said, but it's going to be out later this year or next year, hopefully this year. So for now, place a sigil that you created for this new story on your altar with your book and beautiful, the beautiful booklet that you created, and have as many orgasms as you can focusing on that sigil. Okay? As many as you can. Put happy music in the background, put candles, oils, smells that make you feel happy. Create when you are having these orgasms, create a space that's going to make your heart soar. It's going to make you so happy. So the music, the smells, the colors, put some fabrics that you love. You want to really create a whole new reality and empower that sigil and that new story that you created with joy, with pure energy of joy and lusciousness. Lusciousness, is that a right word? Lusciousness and and vitality and beauty. You want to embody all your god or goddess most best aspects of life. Okay, you want to fill it with life, basically. So this is the process that we're doing now. Let's talk about isolation, because isolation is a big part of sexual trauma. When you're having a sexual trauma, you feel isolated from the entire world. That's why a lot of people who experience sexual trauma don't want to talk about it, because this isolation, it eats you up from the inside. It really, really eats up your life force. That's what it does, sexual trauma, because sex energy is life force. So, but knowing that you're not alone, and that despite your feelings, despite you might feel you're alone and unsafe, you are a part of a whole world with multiple dimensions. It's not just that dimension of where you had that trauma. There are multiple dimensions in this reality. So that little space where, if this is where you had your trauma, right here, it's just a tiny space of your entire reality and dimension. So just knowing that helps a lot to people in really understanding that. That's why I'm a true believer of working with divine psychedelics, with especially psychedelic mushrooms, because they help in the process. Never do it, never work on sexual trauma. I don't believe in working on sexual trauma, just trying to get high or do it by yourself or partying with it. This is like, I'm talking about pure medicine. I'm talking about a sacred medicine that has to be treated with respect. And the process of healing sexual trauma has to be treated with respect as well. Okay. So, so you can choose. So like I said, if you know that there is just this tiny reality, like window in the reality, in the dimensions that you live in, that trauma happened, you can choose other dimensions. You can choose other realities at any given moment. Literally, that reality can no longer exist at all. And and this is not so easy to do. Again, I'm just explaining this. This is something that has been done in the temple a lot, but I'm explaining the theory of it, but it's harder to do in real life. I've done it with a lot of my childhood traumas, but it's not easy to do. So just knowing that you have the power to choose any reality at any moment, which in return changes who you are completely, changes the persona that you choose to be in this reality. Because remember, the trauma creates a mask. If you watch my first video on sexual trauma, this trauma creates a mask and a persona. But when you choose a different reality, you choose a different persona, and you can be whoever you want. So, and then I can make like 10 videos just on this subject, so I'm gonna stop right now. So choosing that, that reality that you feel safe, heard, seen, that you're just so connecting with a friend, connecting with someone that you trust, talking about it, and even a spirit guide, even your spirit animal, which we will discuss actually next soon. Working with your spirit animal, it helps you get your power back. And I have my meditation on connecting with your spirit, uniting with your spirit animal on my website, reuniting with your spirit animal. So I highly suggest you. It's very simple. It's super powerful. It will reunite you with your spirit animal. Okay. So yeah. Using your guides, your friend, they could be in this dimension, they could be in another dimension. You choose, you trust yourself, you know yourself better. And reprogram yourself from that solitude, from that isolation, and know that you're not alone, you're guided, and your healing is very supported. Even if you don't have support from physical human beings, your healing is supported by your ancestors, by your spirits, by your guides, by your fairies, by any beings that you are connected to. So let's talk about shadow animal. I know I just spoke about your spirit animal, which is the representation of your pure sexual essence and your life force. That is your spirit animal. But I love to work with the shadow animal. This is, by the way, I'm going to do another video on my cobra that I just made on a snake and sexual energy. So this little guy is my shadow animal. And he's a white cobra. I know he looks black, but he's a white cobra. So finding your shadow animal as well as your spirit animal really helps the process of healing and transforming through sexual trauma. The shadow animal is the most suitable to work with the shadow, so with the subconscious mind, and where most sexual trauma is stored. So you can even tattoo it on your body, like I did. I tattooed my shadow animal. I did not tattoo my spirit animal because my spirit animal is in my womb. She's like in me. She's me. I don't have to tattoo her, but I did feel like I wanted to tattoo this little guy. His name is James, by the way. Don't ask me why. It's in a few years when my trilogy of books comes out, you'll understand why I called him James. So you can even tattoo it on your body as a symbol of, this full connection and trust you have in your shadow animal. It's like he's got my back, protection. So, and there is more information I also am going to give on sacred symbols. I have another book coming out on sexual sex magic symbols this year, and I'm going to do another video on the snake energy and sexual energy very soon. So so connecting with the shadow and spirit animal is also another form of union of your own light and shadow, masculine and feminine. And it really helps transform your sexual energy, which helps in the process of healing and transforming sexual trauma. So, so you work with your sigil also. You can also tattoo that sigil, by the way, on your body. But you don't have to. Please don't go tattoo it if you really don't feel like it's something you need on your body. But definitely have that new story sigil on your altar, okay? Look at it every day. Have as many fun, light, amazing, empowering orgasms with it, looking at it. The next thing I want to talk about is squirting. Yeah, baby. So I am going to do another video just on squirting. I know I promised so many videos. I'm doing it. You see, I'm so feminine when it comes to these stuff. If it doesn't feel right, I can't do it. Okay. So squirting, female ejaculation, extremely helpful when you are in a process of healing from sexual trauma. Okay. Super helpful. And again, I'm going to do another video on that, but just for now, I'm going to say, if you can squirt, squirt as much as you can in this process of healing from sexual trauma. And because you're bringing up all these emotions, all that trauma back into the present time, and it's stored in your body and you want to let it out. So doing a lot of physical, exercising, running, dancing, moving your body to, just moving it a lot really helps, but also squirting, because the squirting is such a release of sexual energy. It's amazing. Okay. So energetically, it doesn't always feel good, doesn't always feel pleasant. It doesn't always feel, especially at first, when I did it at first, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to pee. A lot of women are really scared of that. Again, I'm going to talk about in the squirting video, but it's an amazing energetic relief and release of a lot of stored emotions and pain that we have in our womb. Okay. So energetically speaking, this release of energy comes from deep in the womb. And it cleanses and releases not only the unnecessary energy that a woman holds in her body from this life, but also the potential to release past life, yes, and other dimensions, trauma and memories. So it can bring to the surface a lot of those things to let go of. So squirting, it can cleanse the physical body from any blockages or illnesses that a woman might hold, especially in our sexual organs, because that's where most sexual trauma is held in. It is recommended by the Sisters of the Temple that I work with, Lilith, Isis, and other sisters as well, to squirt as many times as you can. So, for example, while cleansing your body and energy field from a past lover, which I also have another video on how to cleanse your past lovers, it's good to squirt a lot when you do, like after or before you do that ceremony, and while you are cleansing sexual past traumas. Okay. And this is also true for any trauma, not just sexual trauma. Most women are holding a lot of trauma energy in their womb anyway. So it's a good cleansing ritual anyway. So, and it's fun. So do it a lot. So, eating trauma. Let's talk about eating trauma. What the fuck am I talking about? So energetically, you want to minimize trauma and fear in this process of healing trauma, right? Makes sense. Especially when you're being healed and transmuting sexual energy, which is life energy. So I know I always talk about this and I will keep talking about it forever. Eating and consuming animals and animal byproducts is vital to stop at this time. It's vital that you do not do that at this time, okay? When you consume animals, you consume death, and you want to awaken life energy. You're consuming death. That does not fit, okay? Just basic logic. So you're consuming suffering. You're consuming pain. You are consuming trauma. And what you want to do in this time is to release your body from trauma. So you're doing all this work, all this energetic, emotional work, even physical with squirting a lot. And then you eat animals. What the fuck did you just do? You're just filling up your body with trauma. Those animals have been traumatized, have been tortured. They felt like you're consuming it into your vessel, into your body. Stop, okay, if you haven't yet. And yes, this is my touchy subject, but I am so sick of just people finding excuses for this shit. Stop it, okay? We are way more involved than that. So make sure your body is clean, because remember, everything is energy, and you are storing all these emotions and information in your body. Your body literally feels all this, everything you're consuming, and it stores it as trauma inside your DNA, inside your blood, inside your body, everything. So make sure your body is clean and pure from trauma. And that includes the food that you eat. Food is information, and your DNA holds and keeps information. So makes sense, right? All right, so this was my video 2 in my sexual trauma transmutation series. I hope you enjoyed it. You can leave a comment down below. Please press the like button if you liked it, and subscribe. That helps me a lot. If you want to donate, if you want to have a session with me, if you just want to keep watching my free videos and learn and prepare yourself for the temple and clean your body and prepare your amazing soul for this world that needs you right now. This world needs you in your divinity. Please wake up. I love you all. I am a servant of the Mother, and I pray for the awakening of all men, women, and children on planet Earth. Thank you.